Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Spiritual Essence. I know I haven't posted in a while. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. And I do hope that everyone has a Happy New Year. I got to thinking lately, and I've been thinking this for a while, and I wanted to clear something up that I'm sure the people who are used to watching my spiritual stuff have been wondering, and I know also my friend Cody, who I've mentioned quite a bit on this channel, he's also asked the same question, and I just wanted to touch base a little bit about what's going on. When I first made this channel, it was actually a smaller section from my first YouTube channel that I ever made, and I did many different things on that channel. Skits, I did movie reviews, video game reviews. I also did my host of spiritual stuff. It was just a whole thing. But after getting so many comments on my spiritual stuff about, people saying that I helped them and they were appreciative of the advice that I gave them, I realized that my spiritual expertise was better on its own channel. So I made a separate channel for Spiritual Essence, and I redid all the videos that I had on there because time had changed and my way of thinking had changed. A lot of things have, changed, and there were new things that I had learned at the time. My old channel kind of dipped out, and I wasn't really paying as much attention to it as I once was, so I ended up deleting it. Well, first I tried to make it into a storytelling YouTube channel, which didn't really work out, so I deleted it. And I did start when I first moved into my grandparents' house with spiritual videos. I was very much still into the spiritual when I could. And considering that I had just moved from my parents' house where I wasn't as free to practice my magic and spirituality as I wanted to, because my parents were Christian. They thought I was summoning demons and stuff like that. And my grandparents, they didn't really care what I did. Technically they are Christian, but they're not like hard up Christians. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have more privacy. I'm going to be able to do more spiritual stuff, and I'm going to be able to do a lot more stuff on this channel. And for a time I was, for those of you who have been on my channel for a long time, you know that I used to do quite a few spiritual videos on many different things. I did how-to videos on how to do certain spiritual workings, how to summon certain spiritual entities, how to conduct certain rituals. I also shared stories from my past that had to do with the paranormal and supernatural, and also my personal experiences with astral projection and meditation, spell work, everything. If I did it, I posted it. And you may have realized that most recently that has kind of staggered out, and I'm doing more videos like update videos about just what's going on with me, or Minecraft videos, which I have been working on Minecraft a lot lately. So do stay tuned for those. And I'm sure there's a lot of people asking the question, what happened? What happened to my magical practice? Am I still doing the magical practice thing? Do I still hold the beliefs that I once did? Absolutely I do. It's just a lot of things have changed from when I first got here, and just certain things that have gone on in this household have kind of put a stagger on my spiritual practices. Like when my grandma was alive, she was a heavy-set woman. She used to be able to walk around. She would do the cleaning. She would do cooking. I remember her making Sunday dinners. I used to remember her down the basement where I now live. Whenever we had a birthday party or a holiday party down there, my grandma and grandpa would, do their best to make it look the best. Oh my goodness. We had so many fun parties down there. Well, when we first moved in, she broke her leg because she was too heavy and she tripped and her femur snapped in half. So that was a whole thing, which I was still doing my spiritual stuff at the time. She recovered in the hospital for a little while, and then she was in an old folks home where they didn't treat her very well. So, we kind of broke her out of there and got her home. Well, she became a lot more miserable. She became a lot more demanding. And eventually, even after the doctor told her she could walk on it, she did not. And the fact that she was so heavy set that she could not breathe. And she was just taking it out on my grandpa. She was being so miserable. You couldn't even walk into the living room without just misery, the feeling of misery all throughout it. I didn't want to come upstairs, and I was tired of her constantly yelling at my grandpa. So when she died, even though I was sad that she died, I was kind of relieved that there would be no more yelling anymore. And, all throughout that, I was still doing magical practices and stuff like that. I was trying my best. However, things have changed. The jobs that I have changed. There's a lot more pressure involved with my jobs now. And it's just, when I get home, I'm very tired. Not to mention, I have gained weight. I have lost a little weight, but I've gained a lot more weight since moving in here. And that has put a cramp on my energy. Also, I have new priorities now, like with the animation stuff that I've wanted to do. And I have been working very hard on trying to actually get one of my animations off the ground. So I've been working really hard on that these past couple of weeks, drawing characters, writing the script, drawing sets. I've been just, really trying to focus on that. I'm also focusing on my long-term goals because I do not want to live in my grandparents' basement forever. And, some people are like, well, why don't you just get an apartment? No. I do want a house with land to start a small farm. So that's what I'm saving right now. And since, I pay low rent here, I am just, glad that I can save as much as I can. I've been taking overtime since I've gotten this new job. Been there a month now. It's more physically demanding. So on the bright side, I have been losing weight. But on the same time, when I get home, I am sore. I am tired. There's a lot of things going on in my life that have made it difficult for me to focus on magic and spirituality like I used to. And it does make me sad that a lot of the people who subscribe to my channel here aren't getting the spiritual stuff that they signed up for. So I do apologize for that. It's a me thing. I am sorry. I know there's probably a lot of people who are wondering, hey, what happened to the spiritual stuff? So I've been filling it in with Minecraft stuff or just plain old, I try to, incorporate some spiritual stuff, even to the Minecraft stuff, which is when I did the Bloody Mary challenge and the Midnight Man challenge example on Minecraft. I tried my best. There's just a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life, a lot more stress, and it's distracted me. There's just so much more going on now, and my priorities have shifted, of course. Way back, when I first moved in here, how I saw life, how I expected life to turn out, how I expected to get to my goals and the goals that I had have all changed. We're all different at the time. I see things in a new light now. And while I have achieved some level of spiritual enlightenment along the way, like with my experiences with the One and interacting with Alwyn and the astral travels that I have done that have taught me a lot, my priorities have shifted to where I am devoting most of my time to goals that are actually going to get me farther in life. I'm not saying magic can't, but magic unfortunately cannot do it all for me. So at the very least, I still do pray to the One. There are some times when I will use my prayer beads, or I will use, I will just make little spell prayers, and it's mostly just prayer and light meditation at this point, maybe even going into my mental world sometimes. But in terms of how much I used to do, it's not there right now. I feel like I have to get my life back into some balance, because I feel like it used to be a little more easier. It used to be a little lighter with, my priorities. I didn't want as much back then as I do now. And it's because of that there has been a complete shift. So the goals that I had back when I first moved in here were easy to get to. They were little goals. They weren't something that I absolutely had to do even. It was just something that it would be nice if I could do that. I was ambitious, but, the ambition has risen. The amount of goals that I have grown to great extent, and my need to do them. The feeling in my heart that I must get to these goals has increased to where I must get to these goals at any cost, which is why I've been trying to devote a large bulk of my time to earning money through my job. I also want to work on the 2D animation and the cartoons that I have been making. It would be nice if they actually led to something, if they were put on TV, or if they were picked up by someone, or, just on YouTube, people like them. So I'm devoting more time to these goals. I hope in time to get myself back into spirituality as a whole and start posting more spiritual stuff on this channel. That is my hope. I do want to lose weight and get in shape like I once was, so it would be a lot easier to do that stuff, but it's just going to be a transition. And once again, I do apologize if you've noticed the huge transition from spiritual videos staggering off. I'm sorry, but that's my explanation. There's just priorities. It's all about priorities and how much things have changed in my life since then. Bear with me, guys, and I hope to see you soon. I hope everyone has a happy new year. And I know there are other people, not just me, in the spiritual community who probably do have this going on, where you feel it's hard to do spirituality because you feel like that can be better used elsewhere. Like for me, I have been stretching myself thin between projects, first to be working full time. I'm working with the overtime 54 hours a week. And then when I get home, I try my best to work on my animations, my drawing skills, my scripts. There was a time when I was also focusing on the books, which, I was, really writing the books, but now I have switched over into the cartoons now. And, I'm hoping to do those back and forth, and, just explore my passions a bit more. And I bet you there are people out there who are dealing with this and may feel guilty about not being as magically, I don't want to say inclined, because I'm still magical, but as constant practicing as you once were. And that's okay. Life happens. Things happen. I totally understand, and I hope others can understand too, that when you've got so much going on in life, sometimes it's hard to find a balance. And you know what? You just take care of yourself. You do you. And, try to work towards getting yourself back into a good place like that, which is what I'm doing. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it in the end. In fact, I bet it will. So there's that. Good night. Have a happy new year. And if you do have resolutions, I don't, but if you do have resolutions, I hope you achieve every single one of them. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.